someone is embarking on agitation of this magnanimity, you want to be very, very careful and imbibe security, safety measures. What do I mean? Orabueze, I don't think he's well experienced with, what he's doing. Because the reason why Simon Ekpa was moving with 4 bodyguards, the whole world could not, actually comprehend that. Why? What do I mean here? On a global framework, you are agitating for emancipation of a new country like Biafra, a land that is flowing with milk and honey. You should be very careful because the people you are sitting away from, they are much, much hostile and aggrieved. To them, they are losing diamond. They have lost all the golds and the other precious stone they have. So which is why I'm announcing it clearly to everybody that is much, much concerned, especially about the Igbos. And again, the people that are at the forefront, the frontliners on this agitation, business. Ngozi Orabueze is supposed to be moving with either CIA, FBI, or other private security, guards in America. Anywhere he goes in Africa, Europe, and Asia, they will be going with her. I'm telling you the truth because you can see what happened to Nnamdi Kanu. Had Nnamdi Kanu was moving with security guards, they wouldn't have at least abducted him, packaged him, and actually ferried him into Nigerian country. And you see that's how security lapses, where it has taken Nnamdi Kanu to today. What am I saying? Assassination attempt on Ngozi Orabueze, we should all learn from it. We don't want to lose any one of us when Biafra comes. We want all of us to be around and celebrate the youngest place of Africa, Republic of Biafra. So Ngozi Orabueze should at least be very, very careful. Be proactive. Observe tacit safety measures. Orabueze should be going with well-trained security outfits. They are the ones that can actually fortify him, against every attack by, all these Biafran haters, which of course, are working for Tinubu stroke Mohamed Buhari administration. They are still there in their large number. Wike is not sleeping. Omai is not having his rest or peace at all until he sees Biafra agitators down. You can, of course, see what is going on with Simon Ekpa, a man that is living in the faraway Finland, agitating for his rights, fundamental human rights, for what? Self-determination, which is allowed globally. So what I'm trying to say is that on a framework, global framework, this kind of transaction should be done with much, much safety observation. Ngozi Orabueze, wherever he goes, I still suggest people, strong bodyguards, well armed, in suit, should be going with her. If you know what I'm saying, or if you want to know what I'm saying, you should place calls across, if possible, to Simon Ekpa. He could actually come out with his own narrative stories on how he escaped how many spades of murderous assassination. Ekpa would have died. Ekpa would have gone down if not that he was that proactive. And again, I actually recite here that reasons why Ekpa escaped those assassination bids was because he is a military man. He had experience, he's a security man. And this esprit de corps of 18 has taught them many security, measures, how to be proactive in terms of, aggressive attack by unknown or known assailant. I would like still to tell my brother Igbos, to tell Orabueze, Simon Ekpa, even Nnamdi Kanu, and many of our Igbo brothers in diaspora that are working hard to make sure a Biafran nation emancipates. Number one enemy we have is Chetima Kachima with his Fulani brothers. I believe Chetima is from Kanuri, from the axis of Borno State. His Muslim brothers, religious, sect members, the Fulanis, they are with him, working around the clock, sending international assassins to monitor Ngozi Orabueze, to monitor the movement of Mazi, Simon Ekpa and Joko, actually they succeeded on prevailing on Nnamdi Kanu. And you can see how embittered we the Igbos are today because Kanu security, let me say, awareness was much more porous than ever then. That's why they could actually maneuver or manipulate him and, kidnap or abduct him today. So what we are suggesting is this kind of safety is highly, highly advisable.
Simon Ekpa has also reacted to that, and the parliament, the Finnish parliament, are already meeting, giving the EU pressure on how to go about the revelation coming from Nigeria, especially the IBB's book.
Yeah, the revelation is what we are seeing right now as an exoneration. Is a mechanism, one of the machinations of Igbo man's vindication, exoneration, and let me say victory at last. Because we've seen that all accusations leveled against Simon Ekpa, every hand is pointing towards that axis of a revelation by IBB's memoir. Every accusation against Igbo man in Nigeria. Nigeria is located in West Africa. Those accusations are false. They are always structured, machinated, well prepared in deception, deceit, and what? Lies. Nigeria is a state, a contraption that has been engaged themselves on telling lies. They can never tell you the truth. If you want to know what I'm saying, please call on Nnamdi Kanu, ask him. Everything about Nigeria is lies. So the written memoir has exposed Nigeria for many, many things. Material things, immaterial things, tribal things, important things. See, let me tell you, no accusation across this country against Igbo man is true. Look at the shooting of those kidnappers at the axis of Ladeko. Is that how to tackle crime? Before you could disalive somebody and take his life, you should hold him alive for him to make confession. Some of them are justifiable. Some of the confessions are not justifiable. That is how you will know how to give them various degrees of punishment. But they rounded them up and wasted the lives of those youths. Yes. Why? Because they are from Southeast. Someone that actually get the wind-up of those criminals would have linked it to the police, and the police will go after them in their hotels and get all of them arrested. Do you know that as I'm saying this, some people will say, he's a tribalistic man. No. They would have helped to arrest others. That will help the police to make very, very important arrests. But out of hatred by Fulani, out of hatred that these people have for Igbos, they have to shoot them, thereby losing. I'm telling you, the police, the CID, they lost. Why? They should have spared them to get more arrested. You don't kill like that. You are killing out of animosity, of Igbo man, hatred. I'm just going to the axis that if anything happens and it has to be with Igbo man, Nigerian nation takes it difficult to understand what it is to be on the side of justice and equity. They will not give such case fair hearing. No. Fairness of hearing, no. Like because it's Igbo. They will go direct with bullet and kill everybody. Look at the desaliving, demising, buying of Igbo youth in the southeastern Nigeria. It's all senseless, all about senseless killing in that region because they are Igbos. If any youth is cited, shoot at sight. Buhari allowed it under Butai as chief of army staff. Tinubu, the Arab world, Yoruba came and allowed it. That one I don't know from the axis of Africa where he comes from. That one is not from Nigeria. He allowed it. They started buying the youth without proper investigation, shoot at sight. So what I'm trying to say is that the cases the Igbos are having here are not being handled with justice and equity. They approach it with, roundabout manner, rugged manner, hatred, and, animosities. So, Orabueze should be very careful. Simon Ekpa, too, has been doing it in the right way, securing himself, giving himself the right, security. Actually, the Finnish nation country is the one that did that because they know that his life is in danger. That's why the Finland is giving Simon Ekpa almost 4 to 5 well-armed men on suit guiding or protecting Simon Ekpa. Orabueze should work hard, at least to secure himself, so that we know how far we've gone to be vindicated, courtesy the book, memoir, autobiography, or biography written by Babangida this time that has actually seen us exonerated over the 1996 coup, which we had only 3 more officers. Yorubas are more than 7. The Hausas, we can't count them all, because I know that a child, Mama Hassan Kassina, from the Sultana Sokoto family, is among the key orchestrator of 1966 coup. And who was the subject matter for this coup? Obafemi Awolowo from Yoruba land, the same man that turned his back on Ojukwu, actually ran to this southwest, received a position of Minister of Finance from Gowon. And they forgot that someone that released him actually had a discussion with him to come here and declare Odua Republic. He turned his back on Ojukwu, actually joined the Fulani military clique, annihilating the Igbos with all his dangerous, cruel policies. Who stopped Aburi with stand? Who went against Aburi with stand? Who educated and lectured Gowon not to agree? Awolowo, you've gone a long way to bring down the Igbo man. No wonder they said Yoruba betrays a lot. Because we can see how Awolowo told Gowon stories about Aburi Wistan. He questioned his own, brilliance. Why did you accept it? Why could you accept or at least concur with that young man, Chukwemeka Odumegojukwu? Don't stand with Aburi cancelled. The whole world we are waiting. The whole West African ECOWAS, we are waiting. And this, especially these Francophone countries and the Ghana, actually, Aburi will stand that was sealed and agreed on. Awolowo kicked against it. And today, we've seen where it has landed us. Killings of the southeastern officers and Igbo, occurring of our children, commenced immediately. Awolowo rejected Aburi Accord. And I can tell you that today, it is too obvious that Babangida's book has actually, exonerated Igbo man.
Finally, in the recent statement by Gowon, he said that Igbos would have overrun Nigeria if not that the Western powers intervened.
Yeah, that is a cracked nut, because I know that the people called Nigerian, soldiers or military that took part in that war, most of them are alive, but in their 80s, 90s. And these are the people that can actually told you what went on then. It cannot be us. It cannot be a Yoruba man or a Fulani man running his mouth on the street of Lagos about Nigerian BiAFRA civil war. It cannot be an Urobo man, Efik man, or Igbo man dancing the dance of shame as Joy Bokwe always dances it. That could actually tell you how far we had gone in 1967, 68, 69, 70 to bring Nigerian military clique under Gowon. Gowon was a frightened child where Ojukwu is and other Biafran, weaponry experts. Gowon can never match up to the like of Fro Umenyi, the former deputy governor of Anambra State, an engineer, the chief machinator, the chief engineer behind the Obunigwe, the Igbo bomb. We have many technicians, war technicians that actually crafted Obunigwe and the other lethal weapon used by the Igbos during the war. The West actually contributed, especially the almighty Britain, a witchcraft country that supplied Nigerian military clique with all manners of what? Firearms. And supported the genocide of 1967 to 1970. Igbos were maimed and killed in their 4 to 6 million of the black Jews. Were killed and maimed, supported and sponsored by Britain. As I'm talking now, analyzing, on a platform of, global stage, I think that many people are listening, especially the Finlandia people, the island people, Ireland, that's Irish, the Scottish, on how important they were to the Biafran people. They actually played good role. Yes, to understand that Britain is a witchcraft country. British supplied all lethal weapons to the Nigerian military clique to make sure that they extinct the race called Igbo, the black race today, to make sure that we stopped from existing. And that was their utmost agenda and what? Convention. A consensus in the UK that Igbo man should stop from existing because they have seen us as a moving force. The only force that could counter Britain from stealing, boggling away mineral resources in Nigeria, the only force is Igbo man. That's why British man hates Igbo man with passion. And as I'm talking to you now, the person that supported this kind of ideology and agenda was Mama Charlie. And Mama Charlie is resting in peace wherever she is. Mama Charlie, which is Queen Elizabeth, has never seen anything right with Igbo man. He has been sponsoring and following the wrong Fulanis, the people that could go any length as a result of religion to bring any tribe down. Before I was singing and talking, Fulani is against Igbo man, Fulani is doing this to Igbo man. It's a lie. Fulani is against even the Hausa host. The people that were so kind-hearted tribe in Nigeria, the Hausas, who allowed these murderous, wondrous nomads to stay with them in their land, on their land. They still forsake these people. They still disalive, pie, and maim the Hausas. Currently, as I'm talking to you, the Fulani man is maiming, disaliving, at least decimating the Hausas. The Hausas that gave you the land. The Hausas that gave you support. The Hausas that intermarried with you. The Hausas that actually followed you to your so-called Islamic religion. The Fulanis are killing now irrespective of religion. But to grab the arable land, rich land of the Hausas for grazing of their animals. As I'm talking to you now, the Hausas have actually understood whom the Igbos are. They have actually understood whom they are in the person of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who cut their skulls, broke it into two, divided it into two, and put knowledge about Fulani's agenda, ideology in there. And today, the Hausas, they have resurrected to actually identify with where they come from and where they are going.
Finally, the governors of Eastern region is silent over the IBB's revelation. But we saw yesterday the governor of Enugu State sending traditional rulers to the Sultan of Sokoto to beg him on how he is going to live with Fulanis in Enugu State. What is your take on that? What is wrong with these governors?
No, Peter Mba is a slave. Yes, there are some behaviors or characteristics you see on human being will actually understand that such character traits or behavior is right from conception. Coitus coition, when it takes place, life starts. That's why biology says, not only biology, even philosophy and life starts or begins with conception. In conception, the spermatozoan of Peter Mba is either from Igbo man, then the egg, Fulani woman. Either from Fulani spermatozoa, then the egg, Igbo woman. A man that is running to the enemies of Igbos for help is not an Igbo man. It's what English people call bastard. Someone that is not legally impregnated by his father. Someone that is impregnated, born out of marital or wedlock. I don't understand, by the wrong man. So if you look at Peter Mba, Enugu State Governor, he's a Fulani man. It's not Igbo man that gave birth to him. Since the Fulanis have been killing and maiming Igbos in 1960s, from 60s to date, a man is romancing with Sultanate of Sokoto. Do you want to tell me that Mba, I know history more than Mba? He knows what he's doing. He read books. He doesn't know that the enemies of the Igbo race is the Fulani man from Futajelo Island. Sahel desert countries, Mali, Senegal, Burkina Faso, even not Niger. Niger has gotten themselves. Fulani man is from Sudan, Chad. Fulani man is from Mali. Fulani man comes from Senegal, Gambia, Futajelo Highland. They are all over Africa. And Igbo man has taken note, should take note, should be noted that Fulani man does not like Igbo man. There is much gap between Igbo man and the Fulani man. As there is gap between the Arab and the Jews in the Middle East. This is what God has done right from onset. That the Cain, the spirit of Cain that killed his brother Abel, is being manifested in Fulani man. Fulani man is aggrieved. An aggression that started when God sent him away from the Garden of Eden after killing Abel, his brother. He started wandering from place to place, roaming all over the places, vandalizing people's property, vandalizing people's farmland. That's why you see the Fulani always graze on farmland across Nigeria. Grazing on the southwestern farmlands, grazing on the northern region farmlands, grazing on the southeastern hemisphere of the country, all over farmlands in the southeastern hemisphere of the country. They are wanderers. And God caused them using Cain. They are overall great forefathers. Fulani man is an enemy of Igbo man. By the time, unless Peter Mba fails to understand that Fulani man is an enemy of Igbo race, he will never get it right. He will still be jeopardizing his Igbo identity. You're welcome.
Thank you.
For that wonderful question, the anchor of this great platform. First and foremost, I want to say, Samonepa has come out to say, or has outlined countless times that he said that the Nigerian government cannot win BiAFRA with a barrel of gun for the second time. Now when he said that, see, Nigerian government cannot win BiAFRA with a barrel of gun, it means that nobody needs to die for them to exit Nigeria. Now, Ojukwu fought Biafra in a different dimension. Now, Mazen Kanu did it via his own dimension. So ECPA is taking it globally. And now, we've seen world body recognize Biafra. We've seen the UN